Welcome back, Breaking Barriers podcast.
What's up? What's up?
Happy Tuesday. All right, Adriel, baby Debo.
You
I
see,
see.
y'all see his little braids.
I was about to say that. I see y'all twinning over there.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he had to get them braids like me. You know, he like his little braids. He love it. You know, my kids all looking like me. All I be messing with
What?
Debbie.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't
No.
do it. Don't even play yourself.
Little mama
Don't
starting to like her
make
mama now.
Right.
don't make me pull out my baby pictures. Y'all just ain't seen my baby pictures. I'm trying to
Oh
tell
yeah,
y'all.
the little bitty
Y'all put
one.
my baby picture up. Y'all put her baby picture up. Y'all gonna be like, dang, Debbie, did you win any of the fights? Nope.
Oh
Not
my
even a little
goodness.
bit.
Well, welcome back. We've been off for a couple of weeks because Drina was out in the Mardi Gras streets. Heavy, heavy,
Mhm.
heavy.
Heavy.
Hugging, hugging it out.
Then she turned up for her birthday. Happy belated birthday, Drina.
All
Thank
that.
you.
Drina been living her life, y'all. She been out here just living. I'm jealous.
All right.
Dang.
Right. Hold up, Didi. Wasn't you just in Atlanta? What we talking about?
I went for a birthday party, yeah.
That's
Didi,
enough.
Didi, I saw what you had on. I was like, oh, it must be her pre-birthday party. She getting ready
No,
months in advance.
they gave me a theme, and I'm all for a theme, so I
Right.
can't disappoint when you give me a theme now.
Right.
So I show up the way you asked me to show up.
Hmm.
Yeah, they be showing out in Atlanta. Atlanta a little bit too much for me. I can't be in Atlanta. Like they whew.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all have Atlanta. I go when I have to go.
Yeah,
That's about it.
I couldn't miss her birthday, so I went and celebrated with her. Yeah. I had a good time.
Okay.
But for those of you who do not know who we are the Breaking Bears podcast, and I will introduce my co-host since we've been out of here for a while. Drina, my sister, say happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
Well, we have the host over here with his fresh cornrows, Mr. Adrian Taylor, aka
Mr. GC.
aka.
I gotta bring them out every now and then. You know what
I
I'm saying?
see. Last time we had Frederick Douglass.
You know? I told you because I have been thinking about cutting it, so that's why I had it out. I was gonna cut it down some, but
Mhm. No,
nah.
come on, Samson. Don't give up your strength.
You know, I'm actually letting because I'm letting the back grow in, so I
Mhm.
want the back grow in so it can go all down, and that's the
Okay.
reason why. So
You
yeah, I'm
you
like fro, so y'all can't see the back, but the back is like a fro, like a. Uh, I don't know, y'all can
oh
you see it?
Okay.
Lord. Yeah, we see it. That's how the girls used to be back in the day when they shave their sides and they try to let it grow
Right.
back.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let the back grow in. So, you know, of course, it ain't long enough just yet to braid, but I'm
Oh,
letting it
God.
get there.
Then
So,
we got my girl, the birthday girl. Shoot, she should have been the Zulu queen. She out there at the parades, Fat Tuesday. She had all the balls. I'm like, I need to schedule my trip to New Orleans, wherever next year with Drina for Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Well, y'all
Come on
welcome
down.
Miss Drina, aka,
Dream a dream.
aka.
A lot of things have changed since the last time I talked to you.
oh, you ain't gotta tell me. I already know.
Things will change around here.
You ain't gotta tell me. I already knew.
It should be all in your business, Drina.
And then we have our host, and she always has the most going on, Miss Dee Dee, Miss
The core queen.
AKA.
I'm trying to find out what Drina done found out.
Come on.
I'll tell you all
Mhm.
about it after the show.
I
Ooh,
already saw
child.
the. I was seeing the subtle changes. I was like, hold up now.
I was like, Adrian be all in her business. How you know this stuff? That's ridiculous.
I got eyes, Didi. I got eyes.
You are a man. You are definitely a man. Yeah. We're gonna start with our trending topics. Y'all know we done missed so much since we've been off, so we got some stuff to talk about. What did y'all think about the Super Bowl?
It was awesome.
What was awesome about it?
Everything. Everything. It was one of the best Super Bowls. One, it was one of the best Super Bowls I had seen in a while. Two, you know what I'm saying? The halftime show was bussing. It was a lot that happened. I really, really enjoyed it. You know, how he was able to bring, because what was it, 13, 15 minutes? How you able to bring a whole show into, especially being the artist that he is, right? Those type of artists that come there and be able to give a glimpse of the greatness that you are. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was fire. You know what I'm saying? From I even thought little Jermaine Dupri, little Munchkin outfit was fire. You feel me? But
oh my God.
But yeah, everything that he did, man, the songs, I felt like he knew what he needed to do as far as the song he played. Every song he played, I knew like, yep, and yep. He did that. So I really enjoyed it. And so Patrick Mahomes, once again, man, he the new GOAT. He the new GOAT. He could possibly be the GOAT when it's all said and done. But it was great, man. Commercials wasn't really all that. You know, I feel like they changing it up on the commercials. The commercials ain't doing what they used to do. They had a couple that I like that stuck out. I mean, the Ben Affleck and J-Lo commercial was funny to me. That was probably the best one that I can think of. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was on the edge of my seat watching the game. Thought it was a great game. It was a defensive game in the first, defensive mind, and then they turned it up in the second half, and it came down to the end. What else can you ask for? Most watched Super Bowl ever. So yeah, it's crazy. I enjoyed it.
What did you think, Drina?
I really enjoyed the halftime show. I get really bad anxiety when games go into overtime. Like it makes me so bad. And that's really one of the reasons I don't watch as much football, because it makes my nerves so bad. And I wasn't even rooting for either team, but I'm like, oh, I cannot sit here. Like I need to know what's gonna happen. But I really enjoyed the halftime show. The commercials, I really don't remember because I had just got off a Mardi Gras float because I rode the parade that day. So yeah, I really was just there for the halftime show.
And no, I didn't notice that the halftime show was in 3D. I mean, I don't know if you have to have a 3D TV.
Right.
I wouldn't have known that, but
yeah,
I threw a Super Bowl party because I felt like I was going to be at the Usher concert. So I felt like I needed to have like the whole energy. We were absolutely bored to tears the first half. I was like, this game is trash. I'm ready to go to sleep. Then Usher came and saved the day. We was in here jumping up and down, acting a goddamn fool, screaming and yelling like we was really at an Usher concert.
Yeah.
The details that he put into that show were phenomenal. If people missed it, like he had your people on the stage with him, Adrian. He had the nukes on the stage.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I was like,
I was gonna ask. So this was funny because I was like, so me and David sitting here watching it. I was like, because I didn't see him behind him first. I seen Usher kind of getting the little shoulders going. I was like, I know he ain't stealing our moves. What's going on? Then came up, and I was like, okay. I was like, I know he ain't stealing our moves. Hold on, Usher. Come on now. Did you get the sign off on it? But yeah, but they was there.
And then I'm still to this day trying to figure out where the guy came from that flew in the air. He was so high in the air. I was like, where did he come from? I don't know where he came from. But it was only one critique I had about his halftime show, and I was so disappointed about this part because I just knew he was going to bring him out, and he did. Jeezy, when he did Love in the Club, I was like, if he bring out Jeezy, and he didn't bring out Jeezy.
So you I don't know if you heard his interview. He said, I mean, of course he wasn't gonna call nobody, but he said he reached out to just about everybody that he could for this to be a part of this. So I don't know if he reached out to Jeezy or not, or if Jeezy like, yo, I ain't trying to overshadow your moment with everything I got going on. Just don't know. But he did say he reached out to just about anybody that you can think of.
Damn, I really wanted that.
He played the song. You know what I'm saying? He played the song, so I would think that meant he reached out to Jeezy. I would think, especially if you reached out to Luda, I would think he would reached out to Jeezy too.
And I was so irritated with everybody projecting their freaking insecurities about the Alicia Keys. I'm like, first of all, talking about that couldn't be my wife because it can't be your wife. She would never be there. So let's just get that out the way. Like, why are you like this? It's entertainment. People do movies, all kind of stuff. Y'all talking about a hug? Oh God, it was so annoying.
So Didi, sometimes I wonder if people, because I mean, I didn't think nothing about it, right? I'm watching it, watched it live, saw the hug, didn't think twice. He an entertainer. She's an entertainer. I didn't think anything about it. But sometimes I feel like people may be like, I don't know. But then when someone comes out and says it on the internet, now it's like, you know what? Yeah, I was thinking that too. So it validates just a little inkling of thought that some people has. And I think that's what be happening. You know, they go to the internet for somebody to validate or tell them how to feel. I don't think it was an issue. Like, what are we talking about? These are entertainers. No one ever says anything about actors kissing and tongue. Man, they look like they bussing. And they both married. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they both married, right? Or one of them's married, but we've seen it. We're both married. No one bats an eye. No one says anything. It's art. They're acting. Well, he's an entertainer. She's an entertainer. Like, the song's called My Boo. Like they ain't been in the club dancing with a dude. Like,
right.
We've all been at the club and a dude come up behind you and start dancing. Like, that's happened. It's like, I'm just irritated with people project. It was the same way how they responded when Keke went out. Yeah. Keke Palmer was at the show. It's the same exact reaction. It's like, just because you don't let your wife do stuff like that, everybody's not married to the same kind of person. Yeah. Every marriage isn't the same. It's not cookie cutter. Some people are okay with stuff like this. It's like they have this brush. They just paint everybody. They got to be this kind of wife. They got to act this kind of way. They got to dress this kind of way. Well, Swiss Beats was just fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Only thing I had to say about that part was she looked gorgeous, beautiful, which we expected from Alicia Keys. But I was like, why did she try to hit that note? She knew she started too high. You started too high. You need to bring it down.
And then how they gonna clean it up now on the replay?
Oh, they cleaned that thing up, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
They cleaned that thing up.
That's what's wrong with social media. They think everything's supposed to be flawless.
They cleaned that thing up.
Yeah, that was. I was like, whoa.
She was fighting that note though, boy, wasn't she? Though she was.
Like, as a singer, you could feel that before you let that out. You know, yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
You're playing the keys. You get to hit the note. What you want it? Bring that down. Let's come on over here.
She was struggling.
But Adrian, when I saw him doing the shimmy, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, are those Kappas? I was like, it gotta be, because I know he ain't wrapped them canes with no red. I was like, those gotta be Kappas. Otherwise, the internet finna be on fire.
Yeah, it was like, because you seen him kind of start with the shimmy, then you was like, but then they rose up, you like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So what was y'all favorite moment of the halftime show?
How you know Swiss was fine? Because he made a statement.
Yeah, he made a
statement about it. Why would he be
y'all worried about the wrong thing?
I'm so confused. Steaming for what? Yeah, I'm for real, y'all. And I'm with all jokes aside, I've never seen collectively on a platform of any kind so many insecure men. I just never seen it before. And I've dated very confident men, like having to do certain things with other men. They've never acted like this.
Yeah.
Is it because it's us? I don't.
I
It's
would
weird to
assume
me.
I would
This ain't
assume
the
that
first
she
time we've
probably let
seen it.
him know. He probably knew what was gonna happen. Like they rehearsed it. I'm sure even if he wasn't there to see it, like I'm sure she told him what was gonna happen.
They act like she bent over, twerked on him. He rubbed all like they literally did a hug. She smiled, laughed. That was the end of it.
My
Nobody, because it's like, all right, because even when Destiny's Child danced for Magic, Nelly, and was
Terrence
it
Howard.
Terrence Howard,
yeah.
right? All in relationships at that time. Married, and Nelly was in a relationship. Nobody
He talking about
said
yup because it's
nothing.
Usher. He has herpes. Nobody cares.
Because it's us. So it's because it's Usher. Okay, well, hey, there you go, Didi. He's saying it's because it is Usher.
It should be the other way around because it's Alicia Keys. She the nobody want Usher. She was probably hoping he'd have an outbreak and they get through the clothes.
Oh
But
Lord.
anyway.
Adrian, my favorite part, I wouldn't say my favorite part, but the most surprising part to me, I didn't expect for him to start with Caught Up.
Oh, okay. What did you expect him to start with?
I don't know. Because I don't think in my mind, Caught Up isn't like one of his top hits, but maybe it is like on the charts. But it wasn't like I don't consider it to be like one of his fan favorites. So I was surprised that he started with that one.
Did you say the H word as if herpes isn't an actual medical term?
Okay.
My favorite part was definitely coming out on the skates, having the pole dancers. I was like, I knew he was going to do it, but I just needed to see it. At the Super Bowl, you got pole dancers and skate. That's so ATL. So ATL. I loved it.
What was yours, Adrian?
Come on now, don't ask me that. You already know what it was. When Kappas came out there throwing them shows with the Canes, you already know. Come on.
Did you try it? Did you try to do it?
No, I just watched because at that moment, right? That's big. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of basking in the glory. You just you just throwing up your yo, and you just flowing with them. Like you just it's a proud moment. You know what I'm saying? It was just a super, super proud moment. I was extremely happy. So
I feel like it was a very it was an awesome show, but it was a very Black thing because there were only certain things that only we would know. Like with the Kappas, like we figured that was Jackson State's band. Like all of those things like are things that we would like instantly get, and other people are like just looking like, what the hell is going on?
I love it. Yes. and folks were very I was in a group on something on social media on Facebook, and they were really upset about the Black National Anthem being sung. They were upset.
I saw that.
They were upset. Yeah.
So I thought the only issue was I thought people were upset because they said after she sung it, one of the hosts was like, and next we'll celebrate America or something like that after she sang it. So
people get offended by everything.
But they act like they didn't play like the regular national anthem, and you know, it'd be one thing if you don't.
They do God Bless America, the national anthem.
Right.
Like, you
don't do. It'd be one thing if you cut out God Bless America and the national anthem, and then just do that. Then okay, I could see how you'd be like, well, dang, like, well, y'all ain't gonna play that. You know, I could see that, but you played all that. So what are we talking about? Oh, they dividing the country. What are you talking about?
Country's always been divided, people.
So yeah, I seen that people talking that. You just like, whatever.
Yeah. So are y'all going to the Usher concert? Y'all got your tickets?
I'm mad that Usher's not coming to New Orleans, but somebody told me they think he's gonna be at Essence Fest, and if that's the case, I'm going.
And I'm pretty sure he said that he didn't put out like the whole schedule. So that because you know people thought that he was going to be here first, which initially in the schedule it was, But of course, he capping. He capping it. He jumping it off in Atlanta, and so and then he'll be up here, Baltimore and DC. I thought about it, but I don't know yet.
We looked up tickets, and I'm too bougie to sit in nosebleeds, so not going.
Okay, what's the prices? Because I ain't even looked.
The nosebleeds was like $300 and some dollars.
The nosebleeds was $300 and some dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for a decent seat, about $600.
Yeah, I think the ones we wanted was like $800 or $900.
$800 or $900.
Yeah,
So
I'm not doing that.
there was a lady online. She said, she's tried to get tickets in multiple cities, and every time, like, it gets to the point, like, okay, get ready to pick your seat, and then there's nothing. And then she said they would have like 1 or 2 seats for like $2,500, but of course that's like resale prices. So
yeah.
Some of them went up to the ones that was kind of sold out. Well, it was crazy because the close seats was like $1,800 and $1,800, and then Ticketmaster with their ridiculous fees gonna be about $2,500. Yeah, is Usher on this song?
No. No.
So I don't know if any of you all got sucked into this series on TikTok called "Who the Fuck Did I Marry?" I did, and I watched the whole thing.
I made notes for this. Let me pull them up.
And y'all know how I am about red flags, right? Because I should be trending on TikTok on my story, but we ain't gonna go there. But Drina, I'm gonna let you go into what you think. This shit has gone so viral. It's literally like having an ebook, an audio book.
The thing is, this woman has 50 videos out, and each video is at least 10 minutes. Like, ma'am, you're right. She put out an audio book. This is nuts. But I watched the very first video before it like really gained a lot of traction. And then I saw everybody else talking about it, and it was like, oh, she's at chapter 32. I'm like, damn. And then the next day I woke up, it said 50. I'm like, baby, all these lies. So just a short synopsis. She met the man in March on a dating app.
When she met him,
2020. When she met him on a dating app, he made a point to let her know they had already matched on a different dating app. But the reason she didn't understand that was because he had a whole different name and a different picture on that dating app.
Red flag.
Red flag number 1.
We're not talking no more.
Right. What are we talking about?
That's just me.
Then she, she said, oh, a few weeks later, Georgia was shutting down. So we were deciding if we were going to quarantine together. Y'all ain't been knowing each other a month. What are you talking about?
Right. She said it was 2 weeks after they met.
Yeah.
They quarantined together.
Why he hiding from us, Adrian?
I don't know. They want to say hey.
So silly. Yeah, 2 weeks after they quarantined.
Good night.
Together. 2 weeks
after
he
moved into her house. He moved into her house.
They were trying to decide where they were going to quarantine at. Decided to move into her place. He told her that first he told her he was the CEO of a condiment company, or the vice president of a major condiment company. And then at some point he told her that he was an arena football player. And she was like, I didn't know that was a thing. He got really upset. She was like, he was like, yeah, we won the championship. And she was like, I didn't know that existed. Kind of find out that had ended in like 2018 or something. Like wherever he was saying he was working. And the craziest part, she said every phone conversation he had in front of her, whether it was on the phone with my brother, my brother said, hey, they were like, what's going on? Baby, he wasn't on the phone. None of the times. He wasn't talking to nobody. He was just making all this stuff up. And he was a forklift operator, a temp at a warehouse driving a forklift. But I'm like, how How many red flags did you have to ignore? Because this is nuts.
But I don't know. She never explained because she said when he moved in with her, he was paying all the bills. Where was he getting all his money from?
Right. So she said she wasn't really questioning him because he had the money to pay all the bills. So I'm like, I don't know how bad somebody wants to be in love to like not question all these antics. Because what
they looked at what 50 houses,
looked at so many houses.
Fell through because he would not show proof of funds because he said he was going to pay
telling
cash
her he had offshore accounts.
houses.
It was like a $699,000 house. He was like, "Well, I got approved for $750,000. I want to put in a cash offer." If I meet a man and he tell me he has $699,000 in cash, baby, you gonna have to show me something. I need to know where this money come from. Cause what?
And that was another red flag though. Why didn't you just use you claim you got pre-approved and you claim he showed you the pre-approval letter? Why didn't you just say no? We could just use the pre-approval for this. You didn't even got to worry about the cash offer. I want this house. Girl, he done took the girl car shopping. Said he was gonna buy a car. Came up with excuses not to buy the car. Lied about how many siblings he had. Lied about talking to the siblings on the phone. She said, but he was on the phone in front of me. Wasn't nobody on the phone. Nobody was on the phone.
He said he had an ex who had children he was still connected to. Then it turned into her kids died, and we need to give her $2,000 to go towards the funeral. And the whole time, again, I'm thinking, how much does somebody want to be with somebody? Like, how much will you go through? Because this is all too much.
And here's my question for women. Why is it that it took all of this for you to do the work that you should have done from the beginning? You doing it at the end. Now you're doing all this research, background checks, criminal background checks, calling this person. Why didn't you do that in the beginning?
I think because people want to feel loved. I think that she felt like she struck gold with this man. Like, I think that she really was like, oh, I got a man. He taking care of me. He paying the bills. Like, so what if he tell a little white lie every now and again, but like, what? This is nuts.
She said she wanted to be married so bad. This is what listen, ladies.
Thank God she did not marry him.
Thank God she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Ladies, stop being so obsessed with the idea of something that you overlook the reality of it. Like, she literally said, I just wanted to be a wife. I just wanted to be married. That's all. She was like, I was so excited about him saying he was going to take me to London. This nigga ain't got nobody money. None. And he telling you all these lies. And he verifying stuff by showing you screenshots from Google.
I just really hope that she gets like some type of book deal or something. I mean, even though she's already given us everything, she's given us everything.
That's a Lifetime movie. They need to get her to write the script. It's already out.
At least Tubi. Somebody on Tubi. It's gonna be on Tubi like in the next few weeks. She needs to.
Mm-hmm. She done gave him the whole script.
Right. It's horrible, but yeah.
Yeah, but I believe that maybe not to the extent because I believe the guy's he's bipolar, he's a psychopath. He has deep mental health issues. He's really something is mentally wrong with this guy. Yeah. And I was actually waiting. I was really waiting for the shoe to drop that he had AIDS or something because the way she kept describing his deteriorating health.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what happened? You keep talking about a knee injury. Now the dude bedridden. He pissing in the damn Powerade bottle because he can't get to go to the bathroom. What's wrong with him?
No, it's something mental with him.
Yeah. So she dated him, married him. She dated him, moved him in, got pregnant, married him, and divorced him all within a year.
A year. I mean, just from like from the time of them meeting and getting married, living together and getting married, to me was like, this is nuts. This is crazy.
Yeah, she definitely.
And during the pandemic, we didn't know what the hell was going on. I wouldn't have moved no stranger in my house.
Yeah. And that was that to me. I'm gonna have to blame the church a little bit, because I think that was another big factor for her too. Because she felt bad that she was raised in the church. They said you're not supposed to live with a man without being married. You're not supposed to have a baby without being married. Like, I felt like she was feeling guilty because of her upbringing in the church too. And she was pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And he played on that, saying his mom and dad owned the church. He was a pastor. Child. He took her to the church. He took her all the way to Augusta to the church, child. It wasn't nobody church. We don't know who church it was.
People be
he
wanting
said
to be
grandma
loved.
died from COVID in 2020.
And right.
Took her to the grave site. The grandma died in 2008.
It was just between that and Diddy. I know you ain't watched it. I meant to ask Adrian, between this and Love is Blind, it's been a lot. It's been a lot going on.
I can't get that show any more of my energy. I just can't ever again in life.
Well,
This season is
Love is
nuts.
Blind is awesome. Didi, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm all caught up. I'm waiting on the new episodes tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for these. I can't wait for everybody to meet each other, Adrian.
Ooh, because it's gonna go down.
I saw a clip with the dark skin girl, and the dude was trying to get her to describe herself to him.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what a prick.
Well,
so
yeah, you gonna watch it?
No.
Well, they together.
The biggest controversy right now, Didi, is they have a girl. She told this dude, we're not supposed to be talking about looks. She told this dude, people say I look like Megan Fox. I look more like Megan Fox.
I just saw on Instagram.
I look more like Megan Fox than that lady.
Megan Fox.
And the girl got like the big face.
MGK.
Yes.
Machine Gun Kelly. Megan Fox that was in Transformers. Megan Fox. Yeah. The actor.
Like,
I scrolled past. I didn't know who she was.
So yeah, he like. She said, "I've been told I look like Megan Fox."
When they met, she was like, "What's your favorite thing about me?" He was like, "You have nice teeth." Oh shit!
That's like saying you got a nice personality.
Baby, what?
Damn. All right, y'all. Let's move to our icebreaker topic, so we can bring on our guests. What is some friendship deal breakers for y'all?
I don't like not being a unified front with my friends. Like, if somebody come to me and be like, "Well, Didi said blah blah blah," I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, she told me that." And then behind the scenes, be like, "Didi, why the fuck you ain't tell me?" So I like to be a unified front. So if we can't do that, then nah, we can't be rocking like that.
I mean, we keep this icebreaker, so we keep this lighthearted, right? This ain't no heavy stuff. So, when you don't stand on business, I don't like that. Like, when you all over the place, when you don't say what you mean and mean what you say, like, I can't do that. I can't. That's a friend deal breaker for me. Like, I might not straight cut you off, but you ain't gonna be in my circle. Like, we're gonna be cordial. There you go. I'm learning how to be cordial with people. You ain't in my circle though.
This must be new.
Yeah, it's new. I'm learning. I'm trying to tell you. Like, no, because this is funny. I was having a conversation with my homeboy, and because some changes came about, and we supposed to be boys, and some money plays came about, and he didn't tell me nothing about it. And normally I'm gun blazes. Like, what the like? That's how we do. Like, for real? Like we don't run that by. I be running by you, that type of thing. But I didn't, and I even told him I was like, typically I come in guns blazes, but this 2024 I'm trying to do things differently. So I'm gonna let you make it. But yeah, what's this? You thank you, bro. My bad. I ain't because I always run plays by you. I always run the plays that I'm doing with you. So, let's keep this thing consistent. But yeah.
That's sad. That's sad, Mr. JR.
Yeah.
I got some great friends.
Right. But I was gonna take it a little deep, but I keep it lighthearted because I'm a man, so I have like them non-negotiables, like it's like deal breakers. That's like I ain't rocking with you. So, but I won't do that today.
I can't deal with friends who are extremely how can I say it? Like if I can't be really honest with you, I can't be your friend. Because I don't want to feel like I'm being phony ever.
Right.
And if I'm your friend, I'm really saying something because I love you and I'm not trying to hurt you at all. I'm just trying to make you better or make you realize something that you may not realize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. If I got this sugar coat or tap dance or tiptoe, it's never gonna work.
But I feel like to that point, like with you as a friend, if you come to somebody and you can't be honest with them, that person really is, are they really your friend? Because you could take, I feel like your friend, you should be able to take that type of criticism and already know she ain't trying to hurt me. She's just, even if it might sting a little bit, at the end of the day, it ain't trying to be like malicious or anything. And if you have a conversation in private, like who are you really, like how is that person trying to hurt you? Right. If they come to you one-on-one.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going to get into our main topics here because we have a guest coming on. Adrian, you have the intro. I think he's a returning guest.
Right, because we give returning guests nice little small intros now because we've been here before. So no, but this guy, he's a great guy, man. He's really, really, been helping me out with some things as well too, man. I really enjoy the conversations we have, which is the reason why I wanted Jonathan Carrington, the therapist. That's what we're gonna give him. We're gonna nickname him the therapist to come back and bless us with his presence, so that way we can dig deeper in some of these conversations that we need to have, man, especially around therapy. So bring him on in, man. Jonathan Carrington, the therapist.
Welcome.
Hey, good to see everybody. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, for sure.
We are so happy to have you back. Yes. 2024 has come in like a lion, and it is cutting up. So folks is probably in some desperate need of a therapist, especially this chick we just talked about. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Jonathan, did you get a chance to check that out?
I'm on the fourth video, so I am listening. It's a lot. Yeah, I was listening to what you guys were saying about it. It's a lot.
It is, and I'm hoping she's getting some type of therapy because that's man, I can't imagine. That's the ultimate gaslighter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Completely
invalidated. I don't know if he catfished her. I think he just straight lied to her. Like
he just lied.
He just straight lied.
He's a pathological liar across the board.
And the way that I see her, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and not just therapy for what she's gone through, but now putting it out there on the internet and how it has blown up. Like I can imagine like receiving all those comments, like so many things. It's become such a huge thing. Like I know that has to be a lot to deal with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. And I was just talking with a colleague and a friend of mine about it. And the way that she's presenting her affect is so blunted. It's so like there's no emotions as she's expressing it. And so I don't think it's really fully hit her how traumatic and like this experience has been for her. She's just kind of like just going through the story, but
Mhm.
there's no emotions as she's presenting the information. So I find that to be really interesting so far. So we'll
She
see.
starts
We'll
to
see
get
how it
emotional.
goes.
She starts to get emotional as it goes. You could tell it's starting to weigh
Okay.
on her. I think it's more, but I'm not sure it's so much of the story she's telling that's getting her emotional. I think it's more of the backlash in the comments that are getting to her because it's like
Okay.
they're coming at her like, wait a minute, you didn't. So now I think she's beating herself up.
Mm.
I think that's why she's becoming more and more emotional as she starts to tell the story.
Yeah, that's
And that's,
unfortunate.
yeah, I don't know if this was the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh God, because social media is not the place for healing.
No.
No. Well, I think what happens is you come into it one way, right? And feel like, okay, let me expose this.
Mhm.
But the way she's telling the story, it's more than that, right? It's showing a lot. And like you said, I think getting the backlash, and then people are saying, like, how you not know this? Like, how did
Mhm.
this get this far? You know, and it's really, I think it's really hitting her in that way, but I don't think it's coming off what she thought it was gonna give. Like, I'm just gonna expose this bum. Um and yeah, it's kind of exposing herself a little bit in between there too. So
And I think
Yeah.
she explains from the beginning that regardless of how bad it makes her look, she wants to make
Mhm.
sure that the story gets out there. And I think it's more so to protect somebody else from going through the same thing because nobody
right.
warned her. This man been married 2 times before, and nobody said anything.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's like I could have avoided this had I known any of it.
Right. I
Mhm.
say
Tragic. It's tragic. Ugh.
Mm.
To be married to somebody that's literally you have no clue who this person is at all. He lied about everything. Oh God, I can't even imagine everything.
But do you
Andrina,
think that
you
she
remember the
turned a
very
blind eye
first?
to some of it? Go ahead.
No, he was literally blatantly lying. There was no blind eye to really turn to many things because he was literally playing a character
Yeah.
the whole time. Like he was doing things in front of her that made her believe
Yeah.
because if you don't think that somebody's not on the phone with somebody, you're not going to think like they're talking to you, having full conversations with you, and this person like, yo, so and so said hi, hey, oh, she said hey. He's not on the phone with anybody.
And not just that, not just his family, like even when he would be at work, like telling
Right.
his assistant, like, fussing at his assistant and like, asking just stuff that people would normally do on the phone. Like you would, and so now I'm sure she has like in her mind, she's probably questioning everything
Mhm.
that she thinks, like, and I don't know how much time it's gonna take her to move past it in order to be okay with just even trusting anybody, let alone in a relationship. But yeah,
I guess that made my question really prevalent this week, right?
right.
Would you live together?
Yeah.
In her case, she shouldn't have.
No, she
I don't.
shouldn't have.
How do you? But when someone's a con artist, right?
Mhm.
Because a con artist will be a chameleon. They're gonna
Yeah.
do and tell you everything, and not only that, they're gonna go above and beyond to act the part, right? So it's not just him gaslighting her, as one person said earlier. It's more than that. He's
Mhm.
becoming. He's an actor. He's taking on a whole nother persona to live this life to show her. Like you said, he's calling and he's acting like he has people. He's on the phone and he's not. He's acting like his assistant's there and art. Like he's doing a lot. Like he's putting on. So that's a lot to do. He embodied this person that he thought she wanted, right? And he played it.
But
So
this is
how
what
do
he
you?
did to everybody, though. It wasn't just her. This is him.
Well, yeah,
He's not there. He's mentally ill.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm. But it's very common for many individuals like him to be on apps, the dating apps, and they lurk and they target vulnerable individuals, particularly vulnerable women, And, you know, unfortunately, she was in a situation where we would call it idolizing, like idolizing this husband that she was seeking love and finding her husband and being married and having the house and all this other thing. And oftentimes that idolizing or kind of looking for the good in everyone can lead to this sense of downplaying and minimizing and ignoring all of the red flags and all of the negative attributes of a person. And so, so unfortunately, you know, you have individuals who have a lot of challenges mentally, emotionally, and they hang out on these apps and they target, you know, people that tend to idolize partners or, you know, potential partners, where they will, you know, they may groom people to kind of like mirror some of the things that they like. They may say, oh, you know, you like this, I like this too. And it could be very difficult, because if you're a person who is blindly optimistic in the dating process, and you're kind of idolizing everyone, but you're not being realistic about, you know, not just the positive qualities, but also the negative qualities, and having that balance, it can lead you to attract partners like this, where you can be kind of like in this just kind of illusion of happiness and of fantasy and this white knight in shining armor that will take you off into the, you know, into the sunset, and you're going to live happily ever after. And that never ends up that way. So, so I think she was a victim to that. And now she's like in this process of kind of backtracking and documenting and creating these audio clips to kind of like say to herself, is this real? Like, did this really just happen to me? Like, you know, and so that, because she's been invalidated and gaslit for many years by this person, because that's typically what happens, is documenting your steps and your experiences to kind of come back to reality, grounding yourself back to reality.
Yeah, because I think because we get to see the full scope of what happened, it makes it easy to dissect it and say, I could have done this. We could, like, but when she's living it, if you're listening to how she's telling the story, it wasn't a lot of big like red flags that you'd be like, oh my God, I gotta run. Like in the beginning, I think her choices, in my opinion, were red flags for me, for her, not for him. Her choice in letting him move into her house 2 weeks after meeting her is a red flag. Nothing that he did, but the choice that she made was a red flag. It's like, what? You knew him for 2 weeks. Why would you even do that? That fantasy of, like you said, oh, this could be, I could get this. This could be it.
Yeah.
And he took all of that and he ran with it.
So I really think, to add to that, I think that another part that played in it is, as a woman, I can speak from experience, like as a bigger woman, you have men that will approach you automatically thinking, oh, this person will go for whatever I'm offering. But they'll try to, you know, take. Where she had this man who, like, I'm not the most conventionally beautiful woman, but I have this man that wants me, and he's willing to pay my bills. He's willing to do this. Oh, like he has all these things. I deserve these things. So in her mind, like I'm willing to overlook all that, because look how great of a catch this person is, and they want me just as much. So I just can't imagine like what, like how she feels. Like it just sounds like she's been on a roller coaster like since she met him.
Yeah, because she actually addressed somebody in the comments about that particular thing. Somebody in the comments said, why would a VP want you?
Yeah, and so I want you never want people to feel like, you know, bad about themselves. I just hope that and pray that she is able to move past all of this and finally get to not only trust somebody else, but trust herself. Because I know she has to be questioned like every decision she's made.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh God, the man just lied about everything.
Yeah.
Everything from siblings to when people died, to if people were actually dead, to if they weren't dead. Oh God, he was talking to people on the phone that's been dead for years. The guy was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And she
embarrassing.
and not only during the pandemic, but she probably wasn't sharing this information with many people because you don't want to feel that shame. Like you don't want to have
Mhm.
people poking holes in the story. Because even though you question it in your mind, if somebody else is like, you don't think blah blah blah, so you withhold that information. And so
Well,
now she's like, well,
she addressed that. Why
yeah,
she didn't tell anybody? She said because in her, I guess in the black families or whatever, when you're married, you don't discuss your marriage. That's nothing. That's between you and your husband. You don't tell anybody else that. So she didn't share with anybody.
yeah.
Wow.
Tell me, y'all. Tell me. I'm gonna tell you, get your dumb ass out of there. Man lying. He ain't got no
That's tough,
job.
man. That's a lot.
He said he had
Yeah.
offshore accounts
Listen,
with all the money he made from arena football.
I really feel like I know we can't say what we would do in a situation, but I really feel like if I found out, if you tell me you had another dating profile with a different picture and a different name, I'd be like, that's interesting.
Red flag. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Cause what do you? Cause why? I already think y'all weirdos anyway. So no, I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
But yeah.
Let me tell you, God tried to save her a couple times, and she kept going back. When that tire blew out on that first date, she should have took her ass home.
Listen.
He came and saved the day, changed the tire,
Yeah.
took her to the tire store, got her a new tire. Oh my God. Girl, the man at the store could have did that for you, baby. I feel for her though.
You feel for her?
I do. I do. Because it was very extreme. It was a lot. Oh Jesus.
There's so many people, both men and women, who deal with this, and unfortunately don't really have a space to really talk about it. I mean, I've had clients who have dealt with similar situations where they've been in relationships with people who just have lied to them in order to get with them. And whether you're male or female, mostly women have just been dead set in their minds of like, this is what I want and need. I want this life for myself. And that creates a sense of desperation of like longing for it. And so you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that. And even if the partner is not exactly what you hoped for that person to be. And I was just having a conversation about this because, it really brings the question about the dating pool for women in terms of selection and being able to like the selection of dating partners, and are there that many options available? And I'm hearing stories and people saying that there's not a lot of options available, particularly for Black women, to find partners that really match some of these characteristics, which can lead to relationships like this. And they stay in these relationships and they get abused and exploited and mistreated and all the things. And so it's just an unfortunate situation all around. Just when you think about just societally and culturally and all the other factors that play a part in this need to be married, this need to be in a relationship, this need to have a partner. Just in the culture that we're living in today.
Yeah. And another thing is like you just said, like this, I think it's this huge agenda being pushed right now, especially for Black women, that you better find this person because you're going to be on a clearance rack and you're not going to find them. And like this narrative is just ridiculous. So now the desperation is so high. And then for some reason, I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it has something to do with maybe the older generations and how they endured certain things. But for some reason, there seems to be this narrative where Black women have to suffer to find love or suffer through something to get to what they're looking for. No, you don't. I don't look. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not suffering no more with nobody. Like for what? Why do I gotta go through all of these things? to get this ring or to get this, whatever it is that my goal is that I'm trying to get to. Why I got to go through hell to get to it? And I think that's why a lot of us actually put up with so much shit because somebody grandmama told them this, or the men now are saying, well, look what your grandma went through. Look what your auntie. But no, my grandma was like, baby, don't do that. Right. I ain't had no choice sometimes. When I had the choice, I got the hell out of there. Like, no, no, don't do it. So
I want a man that don't want me to suffer. I don't want no man that want me to suffer.
Why do you want to see me angry, upset,
right,
hurt, crying? Like, why?
I
don't know. But, so the therapist, that's what we call him. No, I'm joking. Jonathan, what is the difference between coaching and therapy?
Okay, so there is a difference with coaching and therapy. So therapy is the process of, so I like the better explanation for this is that therapists deal with the past and coaches deal with the present and the future. So with therapy, you're coming to a therapist to deal with, issues related to mental and emotional health. And so a therapist and a client will work together to really kind of explore kind of what are some of the unresolved emotions and feelings and thoughts that you might have that are causing the problems that are going on in your life. So therapy is the process of just unpacking and processing those emotions and thoughts and feelings. So that's kind of in a nutshell, like from a high level of what therapy is. Now, coaching, on the other hand, is that you may be in a higher functioning status where you may have a problem where, you're trying to, it may be, a problem with your relationship or problems with your financial situation or a problem with something that's happening with you at work. So you may go to a coach and deal with maybe it's communication issues, or maybe it's teamwork, or maybe it's something that you're dealing with presently. And it's more about how do you bring yourself to the current state that you're in to a future state. So coaches don't necessarily do therapy with clients. They work with clients to help them to kind of resolve some life problems or some other relationship challenges or some other situations, unlike a therapist, which is more of like emotion, mental, cognitive, emotional issues that they're facing in their life. So that's kind of the difference between, and then also, therapists also need to get licensed by the board, and there's a set of regulations that you have to follow in order to be a therapist, because it's more about protecting those and protecting the public in that way. So yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell, like the difference between coaching and therapy.
Okay. That was a great explanation.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So, do you think that social media has made diagnosis of anxiety and depression spike?
I think mental health awareness has more awareness around mental health on social media has increased knowledge about anxiety and depression. So I think social media has definitely contributed to people talking about mental health issues such as anxiety and depression, and being open to disclose, just like with the young woman that is doing these videos. More and more people are not only exposing or sharing their stories, but they're also kind of sharing the impact of these experiences on their mental health. So I feel like social media is definitely a platform where people are definitely sharing a lot of information about mental health. On the other hand, diagnosis is happening on social media, which is something that is, especially self-diagnosis, which is very problematic. People are self-diagnosing themselves, saying that they have PTSD and anxiety and depression, and they haven't seen a licensed professional to get an accurate diagnosis or an evaluation on their mental health status, which is something that I am seeing on social media that is problematic. So I think it's important to really because there's a lot of factors that go into diagnosis, and it takes a lot of time to get to a diagnosis. So I think it's really important that people go and seek out a professional to get a diagnosis, especially if you are suffering from a mental health condition.
Yeah, I agree. I think what is also happening, because the awareness is there more often than it used to be, but it's also I don't want to say, I guess I'm gonna say it anyway. I think it's being minimized and desensitized because people are using it so much, like you said, and they're not even actually properly diagnosed with these things. So now everybody got it. Everybody's anxious, everybody's depressed. And it's like, no, maybe a lot of y'all immature. That's one thing. They're very immature and don't know how to articulate things in the proper way. So they'll use things that they heard before to say, this is what I have, so I'm acting this way. And social media just allows these things to carry on. And then they are fearful of calling it out because they don't want to get canceled. So I can't say nothing. So if they say they are, they just are.
Yeah.
Even if we know for sure they ain't been diagnosed with nothing.
It's like I feel like the term bipolar. Like people are like, oh, don't worry, they just bipolar. Like, did Jay go to the doctor and get diagnosed with that? Because that's a major. That's something major. Like, you can't just say that.
Yeah, and also increases stigma because there's a couple of them. There's bipolar, there's narcissist, there's a couple of buzzwords that are out there on social media right now that has gotten a lot of attention, and people are being labeled as many of these things, but it's not really an accurate description of what the word is, how the word is actually being used. And you're right, to your point, you were talking about some people are, so we have normal psychological distress, right? And there are appropriate situations where it is developmentally appropriate for a person to experience stress given the stage of their development. So oftentimes with people who are just stressed, it could be just because they just are not able to be adaptive or being able to cope and manage with the stress that they're experiencing. It may not just be it may not be a disorder. It just may be just they don't know how to manage their stress. Right. So I think that's why there's nuance and context to consider when people are talking about mental health online, that everything is not a diagnosis. Everything is not anxiety. Everything is not depression or bipolar or whatever it is. It's just people are just right now, particularly just in the pandemic, social media is just a place where people have been using it to cope with stress, and don't really have another outlet to go to, so it's unfortunate, but this is also kind of showing us the systemic failures of the mental health care system, of just people going to social media to get help because they can't find it anywhere else. So yeah.
Or they don't want the stigma. They don't want to say I'm going to therapy because something's wrong with me. You're going to think something's wrong with me.
Right.
Yeah. Because I dated someone who used some things against me as if like they were saying something wrong to me. I'm like, I'm good, baby. I got my medicine over there. We're good. You might need to go talk to somebody. I got my stuff together over here. I might act up a little bit, but I'm under control. I call my therapist. We got this. But like using something as a weapon is not a cool thing either. Like, because sometimes social media will make people think that you're not normal because of this.
Yeah.
People don't want to go and get that diagnosis because they're gonna think something wrong with me. They're gonna think I'm not normal anymore.
Yeah, that's also a good point. There is a lot of weaponization going on right now with mental health services. They're like, go see a therapist. You need therapy. Like those are the kind of like projections that I'm hearing, go see a therapist, you go see, but that is really, therapy is not meant to kind of be an insult to and often it's often treated that way or weaponized to say go seek a therapist to get treated for whatever it is that you're dealing with because you're trying to avoid conflict. You're trying to avoid dealing with the problem that is at hand because you don't have conflict resolution skills. So you say, go seek out a therapist to help you with that. It's displacing the problem. It's offloading the problem because they don't want to deal with the issue or the problem. So it's avoidance. And so I think rather than just saying, go seek a therapist or you need therapy, how about we talk about this problem one-on-one and then sort it out? We don't need to go to extreme measures or try to weaponize therapy as the cure-all or the miracle pill that's going to just resolve everything. And that's just not true at all.
Adrian, that kind of brings up the question you asked the other day. How do you call yourself a leader when you can't have crucial conversations?
I stand on that. I think that a lot of people say that, like, oh, I'm a leader. But anytime someone brings something to you that's out the norm, tough, however you want to say it, and you're nervous and you can't have that conversation, what do they say about you? You can't be a leader and you can't have a crucial conversation. You can't be. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care how much of a leader you think you are, but if you run from crucial conversations, you run for somebody calling you out on your stuff, you run from someone feeling uncomfortable about something that you did and you want to avoid it, like, you can't be a leader, because a leader talks about it. A leader wants to have that conversation so that way you guys can be on the same page going forward. That's a leader, right? So that's kind of where that question definitely came from, because I came across that where it's like, you a leader and you scared to have a crucial conversation. You don't need to be a leader.
Most of them can't. Can't. We've seen it several times on this show where they literally get upset. I am very good at articulating my point. You may not like it, but I said it. I'm not cursing at you. I'm not attacking you. We're talking about the point at hand.
Right.
And because you aren't able to articulate your point, now you're mad at me. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But we supposed to be leaders. Like, and most of the time, I'm sorry, y'all, it's the men. It's a lot of men who cannot have articulate conversations about the actual point that we're talking about on these platforms, because they have sat on social media and just regurgitated what other people said. So now you got to actually talk to somebody face to face, and they are assuming that because I'm a woman, I'm going to say the same things they've been hearing other women say. And I'm not ever going to do that, because most of the time I don't agree with half the stuff women say anyway. But that's just me.
I think what happens, I think a lot of men are black and white, right? And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, when you don't agree with them, they don't have anywhere to run, right? Because they only see it one way, typically, right? And when you don't agree with it and you're finding loopholes in what they're saying, it's kind of like, I don't like this. This don't make me feel good, right? And it just being able to be honest of, you know what? Maybe I don't know as much as I thought I knew, right? I don't know what's so hard in that. Everybody wants to be the smartest person in the room. Everybody can't be the smartest person in the room.
I'm in the wrong room if I'm the smartest one.
And that's one thing I've never cared about, right? I never cared about it. So it's like, if you are able to present something to me that questions something that I believe in or see, I'm like, okay, tell me more, right? I'm gonna let you know this is what I thought. But if you can tell me something different than what I thought and with facts, I'm okay with that. Like, that's not gonna hurt my pride, because I don't want to be ignorant. It's a different, right? It's ignorance. If I'm walking around here wearing something that's not true, right? That's ignorance. So that goes to the whole friendship thing, right? Like, don't have me out here ignorant, friend. Check me, tell me, like, help me. Don't have me go tell somebody else that, and then now someone I don't know calls me like, bro, you tripping. Like, and my friend knew, but I ain't gonna say nothing because I ain't gonna rock the boat. Like, what we doing?
Yeah. We got to get back to critical thinking and actually having our own opinions about things. Stop. Just, oh my God, it's so frustrating to have conversations with people and you know for a fact they got their opinion off of a meme. You know it. It's so frustrating. I'm like, oh God, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
It's expected.
you know, I think also in conversations, people can be very polarizing and very extreme in the way that they think. You talked about the polarizing thinking and the black and white thinking, and just kind of perceiving things as all good or all bad or this or that, and without considering the nuances and the context and also the shades of gray. And to have interactions and conversations with people where it can be very challenging and difficult because they don't open up any type of room for gray areas or opposing action or opposing information. And there's I think the first thing is just really having safe conversations and courageous conversations where both parties can be comfortable with the uncomfortable and accepting the discomfort in conversations, you know, despite how people, you know, may feel, because we all are different. We all come from different backgrounds, different ways of living, different thoughts, different feelings. And there's always room for multiple possibilities to happen in conversations. But I think just when you're in those dynamics, it can shut down conversations. You have a tendency to withdraw, isolate, pull away from, and you don't want to talk to that person again because it can be just very difficult just to deal with that. And so, yeah, it's black and white thinking and just the movement of conversations that go to these extreme levels. It just never gets any further. So, yeah, it's hard.
And a lot of times I've witnessed also, and I know we all have, when you're having a conversation with somebody and they are responding to you from their triggers, and you're like, whoa, that's not even. How did we get here? Like, I just asked a regular question, and they come at you like, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, something that I said really just triggered them, and I don't know what it is.
Right.
I think this is happening a lot on social media because folks are coming like five guns blazing, and you're like, why are you so angry about this minor conversation we're having?
I think that goes with people forget that opinions are just that, an opinion. Just because I say I don't like the color red, that doesn't mean the color red is bad. That just means I don't like the color red. So if you like the color red, hey, guess what? I'm not trying to change your mind about it. That's just what I just don't like it. Man. But people take it really personally, like, don't be talking about the color red. Like, whoa, what? Right?
Oh God, they're gonna go to your page. See, you got on red here. You talking about you don't like the color red? Child, they're gonna read you for filth. Okay, so Jonathan, what is journaling from a professional standpoint?
Good question. Journaling is the process of writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, in a document. Documentation and journaling your thoughts and emotions and feelings really helps you to stay grounded. You can journal via text by writing down in a book. You can journal via voice by doing voice notes. You can journal by doing something creative it's a process of documentation, and it can really help a person to really be mindful and really kind of also process a lot of experiences that they may have had in the past. And it can, journaling is definitely something that I recommend that clients do, the clients that I work with, especially if you've experienced some type of trauma or some type of really distressing experience, is to journal, because it really helps to kind of cope with some of the negative emotions and feelings that you might have. And yeah, so that's what I think of. That's what I think of journaling. Do you all journal?
I am a fan of journaling recently. I'm going to caveat that with recently. Yes, it has definitely been an eye opener. Yes, it makes everything make sense. Actually, yeah, journaling
I
is
feel like
A-okay with me.
I feel like I have to work on my journaling, because when I go back and look at it, it's like all over the place. I'm like all over the place. It's like squirrel. Like, let me start writing about this. Like, all over the place. But
You
in my
write like you
mind,
think.
like, yeah, exactly. Like this, it's just it. That's how it is for me.
Yeah,
I
I
also,
feel
to this question, I recommend journaling while listening to music, especially your favorite music, because it helps to kind of get the juices flowing, and it helps it to kind of come out a little bit more. And you might find yourself crying, you find yourself getting emotional. And even if the journaling doesn't make any sense, it doesn't necessarily have to be coherent. It's just getting it out of your head and onto paper. Because a lot of times, you know, we're in our head a lot, you know, and it's not in reality. And so part of journaling is really trying to get ourselves out of our head and onto paper. So it can lead to clarity and understanding, and making room for other things. So music while journaling is also a good tip to help you to kind of flush it out a little bit more.
I recommend the Flute album. Just saying, helps me a lot.
Yes.
Mhm. Um, oh my God, do you want me to put this up here?
What is it? Oh, okay. That's a good question. Do you recommend
Is it?
time capsuling your journaling? Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Because I do that actually, myself,
okay.
because I go back and look at what I wrote maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it allows me to kind of look back at who I was, the younger versions of myself. And I also give that to clients as well, because it signals growth. Um, and it also kind of shows you like who you used to be and who you are today. And so it's a gain in treatment when you kind of time capsule journaling prompts that you wrote in the past.
My brain went somewhere else when I read Time Capsule, so I'm gonna leave it alone. It's
Oh,
only because it came from him did it go there.
okay, okay,
So yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Mr. JR be wearing me out.
Mm,
Okay. What did he say? I did, because you always playing. So I'm like, oh God. Back to the future. Mm. Um, can you explain the word, well, trigger, and how they affect your mental health?
Okay. So we all have triggers, and many of us are unaware of what those triggers are. And basically, what a trigger is it's an internal or external stimuli that evokes an intense emotional or a psychological response to in an individual. And usually it's more associated with past traumatic experiences or sensitive issues. Many of us have triggers, unaware, unconscious, and some of them are conscious. And I think a trigger could be anger, a trigger could be anxiety, a trigger could be something that has happened to us in the past, in past lives, and they are being reenacted in the present moment. So they can affect your mental health because you could be triggered by something and don't even know that you're being triggered. And also it could affect your sensory experience as well. Like it could be sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. And you could be just triggered by what something just happened in the environment and you're triggered by it. So yeah, and I think, and the most important thing about triggers is that you begin to identify and understand what your triggers are, and being self-aware of what they are and understanding, why do I actually have these triggers? What are some of the reasons why I have these triggers and why I'm being triggered in this moment? And then figuring out another way to cope with the stressors or the triggers or the stimuli, whether it be through grounding or mindfulness or journaling, anything that might bring you more joy in life, or just talking about the triggers that are being activated inside of you.
Ooh, Lord,
yeah.
Work to do.
We are a work in progress, right? We're all kind of just learning ourselves every single day.
Yeah. I think, and I think awareness is so major. Like just going through the journey and being able to recognize it and catch it. Like, whoa, don't let it take you there. Don't let it take you there. You know how this ain't real. This is just a drill. You got it. So yeah. Triggers are serious. When you mentioned the sensory, that is so real. Like just thinking of something that may have happened, like when you were a kid, and a smell or something that you're like, oh hell no. Like it could be certain foods that you just don't eat because that happened, or something that just triggers that memory. That's crazy.
Right. I won't eat beets just because of its triggering. So I wouldn't even try it. I haven't had beets in like 30 plus years, but just because of the triggering of it, I won't even try to see if maybe my palates are different now. There are things that I just refuse to try.
Did you have to eat them when you was a kid or something?
Yeah, I had to. So beets, liver, these yes. But these were things that I was forced to eat. I did not like. I thought they were some of the nastiest things alive, and I was forced to eat it. And so as an adult, there's things that I just won't even try because the triggering of it when I was a child. But Didi, you say I ain't missing nothing with the liver?
First of all, I don't know if I ever even eaten it. Like I was the pickiest kid, so I would starve. Oh, okay. I'm not eating it. I'll just go to sleep hungry because I'm not gonna eat it.
I didn't have that luxury to be picky. So
I'll just be sitting at the table sleep or you just gonna beat me because I'm not gonna eat it. Now I was that kid. I'll take the beating. I'm not eating it.
I didn't want to sit there all day, so
I would sit right there and
I'm gonna just throw it up. Like I was one of them. I was okay. This what you want to do? Yeah, I was one of them. I eat it and throw it up.
I'm not eating it at all.
Sitting there throwing it up. Yeah, told you I ain't like this crap.
I feel that way about mustard. I won't touch mustard. Don't put it near me. If it get on my hands, anything, I'm gonna probably snap.
I like mustard.
Mustard is
certain things.
Huge trigger for me. Huge trigger.
I like mustard on hot dogs. Yeah.
I don't even like hot dogs. So
if I was mustard on hot dogs, it's all right.
But mine wasn't because I was forced to eat something. It's just a bad trigger for me. So
Okay.
And in this moment, all of you are articulating your triggers, which is bringing it from the unconscious to the conscious awareness, and also kind of establishing and communicating your boundaries and limits and managing your triggers by just saying, yeah, I don't want that. Like, I don't like that. And taking the necessary steps to kind of just be clear about that. Right. And that's how you can, like, when triggers come up, like, to really kind of sit with yourself and say, that's not right for me. That's not what I need. That's not what I want. And then setting some boundaries and limits around that. Just like with the young woman, like, we heard her triggers in the presentation, and we talked about her triggers in the beginning, but unfortunately, oftentimes people tend to dissociate and disconnect from themselves and from their bodies, where they are not aware of the internal and external triggers that are going on that might alert them that something is off or something is wrong or something is up. And so that's what I mean. Like, that's with her. It's just like, where were her triggers? Like, what, and did she react and respond to her triggers in a way that would lead her to establish boundaries and set limits with partners that are lying or, pathological or abusive or whatnot.
Yeah. Now, I think she actually, I don't know if it's I don't know what the word would be for this, but she mentioned that she had never had a guy who, like, took care of her, where she never had to worry about bills ever. And this was the first time that somebody came in and just took care of everything a month ahead of time. She didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. Her money was her money, and she didn't have to worry about anything. So whatever that was, that's what he played on. And that was actually what she kept holding on to, was these can't be lies, because he's doing all of this stuff. He's literally paying all my bills. So he can't be lying.
Yeah.
I still don't know how you paying these bills, because I don't know. Because now the man's in his new car. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So she was living it up. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the trigger, right? That's the trigger that signaled to her that I have a need for a man to take care of me and to take care of my responsibilities. Therefore, I'm going to seek that. So the trigger is that, I'm seeking someone outside myself to take care of me, regardless of how that person might show up. So in some ways, she attracted that in her life. Right. And I'm not putting the responsibility completely to her, but I'm just saying, like, realistically, this is typically what happens when you don't have, you lack boundaries, or you don't have limits, or you're not protecting yourself. You're exposing yourself to the, these situations where, you land up in relationships that are dysfunctional and abusive and toxic. So, and it's unfortunate to see it play out, but this is typically how the dynamic works.
Yeah. And she actually mentioned her boundaries, and she was upset with herself for not standing on those boundaries, because she was like, I was raised to never live with a man before I got married. And you went way left with this man, because you let her move in 2 weeks after you met him.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't
Cultural beliefs and attitudes shape how we perceive and view reality and our mental health. And so the church or religion and family, if you've been told these things, and you must believe it to be true, you're not going to question it.
Until you got to apply it.
Right. Exactly.
Sounds good in theory.
Exactly. Right.
Man standing over there. Hold on. I can bend the rules a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
She bent the rules a lot, because she got pregnant, what, 2 months after?
Yeah. All of it, like the moving in, pregnant, like all of that happened in like a 4-month time span. Like, it was a very short amount of time.
I done been dumb, but you ain't moving in my house. That's absolutely not happening. Not no.
Didi, you can't move in.
You see what happened the last time, right?
Hey man, you
We
know,
ain't reliving that.
I'm just I don't know. Okay. No, all right.
No,
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 not
no,
even a little bit.
no. I'm 45. My ex-husband lived with me. That was for 8 months. And my son's dad. We ain't gonna go back into that because we discussed that last week. The last time we was on this show, we ain't doing that again. That was 15 years ago. No.
No. Okay.
And remember, you asked the question on Facebook: should you live with your significant other before you get married?
Right.
I don't think you should live with your significant other after you get married. So don't ask me the question.
Y'all should have 2 different spaces.
Yes, you stay over there. I'll see you sometime during the week, maybe on the weekend. I don't want you here every day. Won't need to be in the same house. I don't like people long enough.
So basically, you saying if y'all do live together, y'all should have 2 rooms.
We need 2 separate areas of the house.
So I'm saying.
My area, you need your area.
I feel like there's a lot of women that agree with that, Didi.
Be like, what was that? It was a show on Netflix. Will you get to marry the king or some shit like that? And she live in her palace, he live in his palace. Yes, we come together.
But she ain't like that though. She ain't like that.
No, she didn't like that.
I don't know what to tell her. That was a great idea. She ain't know no better.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
I have a friend who
Didi, they say you open yourself up to a lot of different things when you live like that though.
I wouldn't give a damn. It's a freezing. Oh, I don't care. You can live in the same house and it's open to that. Adrian, people do what they want to do. Period. Point in the blank.
You true. Them is facts.
Married men be in my DM all day. You see the screenshot, they jump. Married men that shoot a shot every chance they get.
They gonna step. Them single men, they be scared. The married men, they bringing all the pressure.
Listen,
why is that?
Look, happy Valentine's Day. Ain't you with your wife today?
You won't stay in the house with me.
You supposed to send these messages out the next day. This is Sunday.
Social media has made people think that they have access.
Oh, man.
No, sir.
My bad. I didn't tell y'all happy Valentine's Day. My fault.
No need.
Thank you.
Valentine's Day. If I gotta get win the trash.
I'm 6 days late, but happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
Valentine's Day. Oh, okay. Wednesday. It was the day after Mardi Gras.
No. Don't care. Anyway, Mr. Jonathan, what are some of the warning signs that one might need to seek therapy?
There's a lot of warning signs with that. But I think what we want to do is we want to kind of. I just want to be careful how I answer this question because I think that when you find yourself in relationships where you just notice that something is off, and you really don't have a lot of support in your life to have someone to talk to or have someone to process with, because it's hard. It's hard to talk with friends and family about things that are going on in your life that are very private and very personal, because oftentimes we talked about just the public scrutiny when it comes to disclosing information about your thoughts or your feelings or emotions about certain complex or sensitive matters. Because anytime that you open up about something related to your family or relationship or some other concern, there is an impending judgment that comes after that. There is this sense of retaliation or a sense of shame even attached to talking about anything related to yourself, because people just come from their own kind of purview and their own perspectives about what they think that you need to do about your situation. And sometimes you need like a third party to come in and kind of give you an objective, unbiased perspective on what it is that you're experiencing. And so I think, when you find yourself in those moments where you're like, your gut is telling you, I'm really going through something right now. I'm like really depressed, or I'm anxious, or I'm feeling these emotions, or I'm, having a hard time dealing with, challenges at work, or dealing with struggles with my relationship. I think it's time for you to start kind of seeking out some professional support to guide you and help you to navigate through that process, that healing process. So, if your gut is telling you to go seek out help, then listen to your gut. Like, or if there is some discomfort that's coming up for you related to so that's what I think, how I would answer that question, so that you can openly address all of your issues, and really speak to someone that can really give you some unbiased professional support around your situation. Hope that makes sense.
That's a really great professional answer. Take your ass down there and talk to them folks. We tired of you projecting your stuff on us on the internet. We don't want you to call us and tell us the same story over and over about 5 different people. Don't talk to them people. You got the insurance. Go down there and use it and get some help. We sick of it now. We don't want to hear it. We tired.
Oh God, not the insurance.
Go on, get on the couch, talk to the person. If you don't want to go to the office, they got Zoom. They got therapy on Zoom. Get on there. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to somebody.
Yes.
I wish it was part of, I feel like it needs to be part of the culture. I think there needs to be a cultural shift for people to really realize that therapy is not just because you have a diagnosis or a mental health challenge or anything like that. Therapy could be for anything you want it to be. Because there are therapists that serve all different aspects of life, all different areas of life, and can really, and transform and enhance the quality of your life. So it's not just for people who are under functioning or dysfunctional or low performing or under, performing. It's really for those who are also high performers and high achievers and high functioning people. It's for everybody. I don't think it's just for certain types of groups of people, but that's the perception that we have about therapy, is that it's just for those who are stereotypically, mentally ill or whatever. But that's not what it is, because you find yourself going to a therapist and it's not what you think that it is. It's, you know what I mean? It's completely, because, society and culture and the media kind of portrays it to be one way, but when you actually get access to the service, it's not what the media is portraying it to be. So I think it's, if you have the resources, go seek out support. They can help you out with your life. It doesn't matter where you are in life. So, yeah. Yeah,
I agree. Because a lot of people, like, especially like you said, in the Black community, like, we have been through so many traumatic things that we just ignore it. And we are just existing, and we just move along in life. And we don't really, we don't realize how traumatized we are until you have a conversation with somebody who's on their healing journey. And that conversation is so ridiculous, because you really can't see or hear past anything other than how you've been traumatized. Like, I'm literally having a conversation. I won't say who the person is, one of my family members, and I have to call my sister because I'm like, yo, I can't do this. Like, I just can't do it because it's so frustrating, but I can't get them to like rationalize their thoughts right now because they don't think there's anything wrong with what they're saying, and they're so out of control right now. But they've been like this their whole life, so there's nothing. So I'm trying to tiptoe around this, but I'm like, right now I need you to calm down because we actually have to make real decisions right now. And your trauma is so horrible with trusting people. It's over the top right now, and I can't do this with you. But they will not seek help at all. The Lord gonna help them. The Lord gonna do it. I'm gonna read my Bible. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna talk to the pastor. Man, you need to talk to a licensed therapist.
Yeah.
Well, and that's that generational trauma is so real. It is so real with Black families, and I'm just gonna say it like that. It is so real to the point where Black people don't think that they have any type of issue, that we are just the strongest, most resilient. We can endure anything and everything possible. Nothing affects us. We are invincible. We're unclockable. And what that does is it says that it creates this perception that we don't have any mental health challenges at all. We don't have anything wrong with us. There's nothing. And that's what discourages people from seeking out support, seeking out help, because there is this fear that unconsciously and subconsciously that we have of, being perceived as weak or unable to handle our problems. Oh, we need to go pray and we need to go to church and give it to the Lord and all this other stuff, because there's this, our mental health is not that important. And so I'm speaking to this because this is a stereotype that has been created about Black people that needs to be challenged, right? And there are many other stereotypes about, Black people, with just like, how we are kind of, portrayed as very superstitious, or, maybe it's a spiritual or religious factor. We might have a demon, or we're demon possessed, or some other reason as to believe that we have these mental health challenges. And that also creates problems as well, because it just discourages people from seeking out proper, appropriate care. So there's so many issues that we I haven't even touched on just the historical trauma of just layers upon layers of just history that has affected us, that has kept us just numb and detached, and just we just aren't there. And some people we're not going to be able to save. We're not going to be able to help them. They're just going to be what they are. And those who are really about that life and really about taking care of themselves, and sometimes that is a trigger that we need to listen to, and we need to set some boundary to say, maybe I need to create some distance. Maybe I do need to separate and limit my interactions with these folks so that I can go over here and prioritize my mental health and my well-being and my sanity, because these people over here are just not capable of or don't have the capacity to receive the help and support that they really need. So let me go over here and get it myself, and find people who are doing the same, and develop a community and support around me, around people who are also on this pathway.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Oh, Lord, because you're not about to throw me off my path. No. Yeah, that's good. And that you kind of touched on it. The last question was, how do we get more the Black community to consider going to counseling? I don't know, because we talked about it earlier. It's kind of like a two-way thing, because on one hand, social media is amplifying mental health, and they're promoting it more than they've ever done it before. More people are hearing about it. But on the other hand, I mean, I don't know how much the Black community as a whole is even considering it, other than just the anecdotal, the sayings of it. We're just saying these things, but are you actually doing it, applying it, executing these things, or it just sounds good to say something about mental health?
Yeah. Yeah, I think addressing mental health stigma in the Black community is really important, and one of the things is like having platforms like this to really spread mental health awareness, mental health education to the Black people, to the Black community, excuse me, to challenge some of the stereotypes about mental health, because we have to create some pathways before they actually come into the counseling room and therapy room. We got to bring more education around what is happening even on social media and how social media is shaping public perception about Black people and mental health and all the things that are happening on social media. But being able to challenge and confront some of these stereotypes and this misinformation and provide accurate information to the public about what is Black mental health and what it is, and how important it is to seek out support and help. And that can be done through having stuff like this, community workshops, collaboration with community leaders, mental health advocates, so that people are like having honest, authentic conversations around this issue and targeting Black people in the community to go seek out support. And Black people too, we have very unique challenges and experiences that would be otherwise that the majority culture in terms of counseling and mental health is not addressing. So there is an importance to seek out culturally competent care by a licensed clinician who might be of color, that gets your experience, that gets your journey, understands what it is that you've experienced and what have you gone through. And so you have like therapy for Black girls, and I know therapy for Black men is going through some challenges right now, but there are other provider directories that exist where Black therapists are advertising their services. So it's good to kind of be in a space where you have someone that can really understand your experience as a Black person. And then some other things, I think, just in terms of just having more safe spaces to have discussions like this is really, really important, and offering like peer support, and just really just keep doing it. Just keep talking about it, because that's what's going to really kind of get people into counseling. Is people need to be consciously aware that people care about mental health. We already have a force against us that's trying to get us away from our health and from our even our mental health with the distractions and disinformation. We need to counter and disrupt that with healthy information, healthy responses, advocacy, community. All of this needs to counter that which is coming against us, which is all part of the white supremacist agenda to keep us suppressed and dehumanized. Really, we need more of it. Keep talking about it.
I agree. You always bring me joy when you come on the show. I love when you come on because you make things so plain. You make it, you break it down to where everybody can understand it, and it's not some boring, washed over information. It's really relevant, especially to the Black community. And I appreciate you for coming on the show. Anytime that you're available, we love having you.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Do you have anything that you would like to promote, tell the people about, let them know how they can follow you, all that good stuff?
Sure. So I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor in Maryland and Virginia. I have a practice. I have openings. My practice is called Atone Therapy. I'm my third year in practice, and you can find me online. You can go to my website, www.atone-therapy.com. Feel free to schedule a free 15-minute consultation. We can talk it out about your issues if you're in Maryland or Virginia, of course. But if you also, want to talk about anything, you can always schedule a consult with me, and I can probably redirect you to the right place if you are looking for a therapist or a counselor in your state. So I have that going on with my practice. I also have a podcast. We are working on our second season called Surviving the Black Church. where we discuss the survivor journeys and experiences of those who have endured and survived Black church experiences. And we have a space on, I think it's the second and fourth Thursday of every month. There's one coming up. And hit me up if you want to contact me. We have a space where we're just discussing issues with the Black church. It's this Thursday at 7:00. You can email me. It's my first name, Jonathan, JONATHON at jonathancarrington.com. If you want additional information about what I'm doing, following me on different platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, you can find me there, Jonathan Carrington, just type my name in. And that's pretty much it. Have other resources, just feel free to reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction if you're searching and seeking services. So yeah, happy to be here and happy to come back anytime you want.
Awesome. Thank you. Adrian, Drina, do y'all have anything coming up?
Drina, what you got coming up?
I don't have anything coming up.
Y'all petty.
But
Nothing, Drina?
No, I don't have anything coming up. But if you would like to follow me on my social media on Facebook under Drina Finds Out, I'm trying to get my followers up on that page. And I'll be putting a lot of content out there. That's all I have going on.
Drina Finds Out. Drina got find out, huh? No, that's not it, Drina. Okay.
Wait a minute. You see what Mr. JR said? Drina, your hair looking good, girl. Looking like a snack tonight.
Thank you, Mr. JR. It won't be like that.
Drina glowing out here. Drina getting all this attention. What's up, Drina?
Tell them
Drina, let them know, Drina. What's up?
Adrian, what you got going on?
Oh man, that's how we do it. We entertaining today, Drina?
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, well, training, you know how I do, training, coaching. If anyone needs coaching, you can hit me up. You can go to gentlemencounsels.com. If you need a consultation, you can hit me up there. YouTube as well. Me and actually Mr. Jonathan blessed me with a nice little interview of how therapy can affect your career development. So he blessed me with the interview and we had a great conversation around that. So you can definitely check that out. Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear what Drina got to tell me.
Didi, what you got going on?
Well, y'all know that I have the Core Queen podcast. The next episode will be airing on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. I will have an amazing guy on Thursday. His name is Tigo B. He is an entrepreneur and an artist. He is the owner of Romeo's Vegan Burgers here in Charlotte. So it's a franchise out here. It's an amazing vegan burger place. So he has his own vegan burger brand out here, and he's a musician, and he's just amazing. He's been with the Buddhist monks over there. Like, the dude is just awesome. So we get to talk to him, and I'm excited to interview him tomorrow. It'll air on Thursday. Also, I might give y'all some hints about if you notice, I'm typing shoot for my birthday this year. It is a shoot, but I'll give y'all some pointers on that. We've been planning because it's huge this year. So it's a whole different spin on this thing. So we got to start now. That's how big it is. So
okay,
it's going to be major. What else I got going on? My son made the track team. So shout out to my son. And he just got picked up. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, it's called NCSA. It is a college recruiting agency who will help him for the next 4 years through his high school years to get him into camps, to make sure his SAT scores are right, grades are right, all his films, everything, all his everything that he needs to get picked up to be a college football player, they're going to make sure that he is on the right path for the next 4 years. So he got that going on with him. And he just made the AAU travel basketball team too. So y'all pray for me because I am his personal Uber. And yeah,
that's life.
Remember last week? What did we talk about last week, Adrian? Custodial parents. What do you need? Some goddamn help.
Right. Definitely need some help.
Yeah. And we
Granny,
are
you almost an empty nester. What you talking about?
Almost, but this is when they get crazy. You think it's crazy now? Wait till they get older.
Man, it's nonstop.
I got one baby. She's 16. She ain't got the first interest in learning how to drive. She's like, "Why I need to learn how to drive?" Like, why?
Shit. As soon as he gets 15,
Stay your tail at home, then. That's
right.
what we're gonna do.
Oh, you better get it because I got errands for you to run.
Right.
And we are 1 month away, a little bit over a month away from my grandbaby coming. So I'm excited about that. Yay. That's all I got, y'all. Y'all know what we need y'all to do here in these comments. The people that you know, your mama, your grandmama, your sister, and them. Have them hit that notification bell on the YouTube side of this thing. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. I need you guys to like the page. And I need you to share with people about the Breaking Berries podcast. We are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to come on the show, let us know. Don't be playing around in our inbox either. Talking about you coming, then you don't show up. If you got some topics you want us to talk about, hit us up in inbox or DM. We'll be glad to talk about them. Any hot topics, anything you want to talk about, let us know about it. Y'all know that we love y'all in the comments and we appreciate y'all in the comments. Jonathan, we appreciate you for coming on again, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future. We'll see y'all next week. We out.
Bye.